Welcome back to the sanctuary of hidden truths, anything you want. In the digital coliseum where we currently reside, the definition of truth has become dangerously fluid. We live in an era where a single pixel, a coincidental timestamp, or a shared horizon line in a photograph can spark a wildfire of narrative that burns across the internet before the subjects even wake up to check their notifications. We are all guilty of it. The rapid-fire deduction, the desperate need to connect the dots, the hunger to solve the puzzle of a stranger's heart. But what happens when the collective detective work of millions points in the wrong direction? What happens when the noise of a new sensation drowns out the quiet, steady hum of a history that never truly ended? Today, we are dissecting a fascinating case study in celebrity perception versus reality. It begins with a storm of headlines, a flurry of TikTok edits, and a confident declaration that Gökberk Demirci had found a new muse. The internet was certain. The evidence, they claimed, was irrefutable. But as the dust settles and the smoke clears, a very different silhouette is emerging from the haze. It is not the silhouette of a stranger, but of a woman who has defined the most significant chapters of his life. We are talking about the collapse of a rumor and the potential resurrection of a legend. We are talking about Gökberk Demirci and Özge Yağcay. Before we peel back the layers of this intricate mystery and explore the silence that speaks louder than any press release, I must ask for your unwavering alliance. To ensure you never miss these deep psychological profiles of the stars you follow, verify that you are subscribed to anything you want. And for those among you who wish to be the true patrons of this channel, the guardians of detailed storytelling, I invite you to click the join button below. Your support is the gravity that holds this universe together. Now, pour yourself a drink and settle in. We are about to analyze why the internet chased a ghost and missed the real story standing right in front of them. The saga began, as so many modern melodramas do, with a coincidence. In the hyper-vigilant world of fandom, there is no such thing as an accident. Every background detail is a clue, and every timestamp is a confession. Recently, the digital sphere erupted with the certainty that Gökberk Demirci had entered a new romantic epoch. The evidence presented by the keyboard detectives seemed, at a glance, to be compelling. A shared location tag here, a background wall texture that matched another there, posts uploaded within the same golden hour. These were the breadcrumbs that led the internet to declare a brand new romance with a fresh face. The narrative was constructed with lightning speed. Within hours, new love was the headline du jour. Fan edits were stitched together, creating a visual history for a relationship that, in reality, did not exist. It was a perfect example of confirmation bias. The audience wanted a new story, so they assembled one from the static of social media. However, reality has a stubborn way of asserting itself. As quickly as the fever rose, it broke. Sources embedded deep within Gökberk's inner circle began to quietly dismantle the house of cards. The message from behind the curtain was polite but firm: there is no new flame. The coincidences were just that, coincidences. The acquaintance in question was exactly that, and nothing more. The internet had chased a mirage, captivated by the shiny prospect of novelty, while completely ignoring the deeper, darker waters of his actual personal life. When the artificial fog of the new love rumor finally lifted, it revealed a landscape that was familiar, yet changed. The void left by the debunked rumor was not empty, it was filled by a presence that has loomed over Gökberk's narrative for years. We are speaking, of course, of Özge Yağcay. This is the twist that no algorithm could predict. While the world was busy looking for a stranger, the real story was revolving around the woman who knows the map of his soul better than anyone else. Özge is not merely an ex-partner, she is a witness. She is the woman who stood beside him when the lights were brightest and the pressure was heaviest. She is the partner who navigated the treacherous waters of the industry with him, who understands the specific burns that fame inflicts, and who knows how to walk through the embers without getting scorched. The gossip world is now pivoting from the excitement of a fling to the profound gravity of a return. The question is no longer who is the new girl, but rather, is Özge the fire that never truly went out? This possibility carries a weight that a casual dalliance never could. It suggests a narrative of healing, of circling back, and of a connection that survived its own ending. We are looking at a classic romantic trope, the right person, wrong time who circles back when the time is finally right. I want to turn the floor over to you, the Anything You Want community. Do you believe in second chances with an ex who knows your history, or should the past remain buried? Is the silence between Gökberk and Özge a sign of love or just respect? Let us know your theories in the comments below. I read every single one. And remember, hitting the like button helps us defy the algorithm and bring you these deep dives. For those who want to support our detailed analysis directly, the join button awaits. The most compelling evidence for this rekindled orbit is not what is being said, but what is being withheld. The timing of recent events has forced even the most cynical observers to pause. On one hand, we had the noisy, chaotic evidence of the false rumor. On the other, we have a pattern of behavior between Gökberk and Özge that feels rich with intent. It is a language of subtlety, soft tones, deliberate pauses, and a refusal to perform for the gallery. Observers have noted a distinct rhythm to their digital interactions. When Gökberk engages with Özge's content, a like here, a view there. The reaction is consistent and immediate, suggesting an instinctual connection rather than a calculated PR move. But it goes deeper than engagement metrics. It is about the thematic parallels in their public voices. When Özge posts about choosing peace and living for the self, it resonates with a harmonic frequency to Gökberk's interviews where he speaks of finding connection only with those who truly understand. These are not random thoughts, they are a call and response. It is a dialogue taking place above the heads of the audience, a conversation in code between two people who are slowly realigning their worlds. Why all the whispering? Why not just post a photo and end the speculation? Because Gökberk and Özge know the cost of a front-page romance. They have lived it. They have been the couple under the microscope, where every dinner date is a headline and every frown is a breakup rumor. That kind of pressure changes the way a person breathes. It forces you to weigh every step, to choose the back door of the restaurant, to save your truest words for the safety of a private room. This time, the choreography of their interactions suggests a lesson learned. Insiders whisper that they have been in the same rooms, attending the same gatherings with mutual friends, yet they are never captured in the same frame. They arrive minutes apart, they leave separately. This is not the behavior of two people who are indifferent to each other. Indifference is careless. This careful avoidance of the camera while sharing the same air, is protective. It is the strategy of two people who have something fragile that they are desperate to shield from the harsh light of public scrutiny. They are building a wall around the garden before they let anyone see the flowers. If we look closer at the digital artifacts they are leaving behind, the picture becomes even clearer. The fandom, divided as it may be, has noticed the details. When Özge posted about turning a new page and owning her calm, Gökberk followed with a reflection on quality over noise. It feels like a synchronized swimming routine performed in separate pools. But perhaps the most poignant clues are found in the music. The songs quoted in their captions, the melodies playing in the background of their stories, these choices often speak to shared memories, to a specific history that only they understand. He shows a renewed appreciation for her professional victories, and she applauds his wins with a quiet, understated grace. These are not the frantic gestures of a new spark trying to prove itself. These are the steady, confident signals of two people who know the terrain. They are not rushing because they do not have to. They are not performing because they are no longer auditioning for each other's affection. There is a layer to this story that exists entirely off-screen, and it is perhaps the most crucial one. Sources close to the situation suggest that this reconnection was forged not in the good times, but in the difficult ones. When the lights dimmed, when the rumors about other people grew loud and hurtful, when professional anxieties swelled, that is when they showed up for each other. It is whispered that during the low tides of the past year, texts turned into calls, and calls turned into late-night conversations that the public will never hear. In those moments, they didn't need to explain who they were, they already knew. They found comfort in a voice that knew the shorthand of their lives. This is how deep bonds are cemented, not on the red carpet, but in the mundane tenderness of being understood without having to speak a word. This emotional safety net is what likely pulled them back into each other's orbit. It wasn't a flash of passion, it was the gravity of safety. So, is this closeness new? Or is it, as many insist, a bond that simply matured in the shadows? That is the question rattling the gossip corridors. Some insiders paint this as a process, slow, warm, cautious. A re-education in trust. Others argue it is simply a profound friendship that survived the wreckage of romance. But the ambiguity is the point. If there were truly nothing between them, a denial would be easy. A simple "we are just friends" would suffice. But in the celebrity world, the refusal to answer is often the clearest answer you will ever get. It reveals a priority: protect the heart first, let the public catch up later. This is a love story with memory, with depth, with work. It is the kind of connection that thrives on shared history and healed edges. Perhaps that is why they are not rushing to confirm anything. Maybe they are more interested in being right for each other this time than being loud for us. And so, we circle back to where we started. The headline about the new love has lost its shine, revealed as a trick of the light. The brighter, steadier flame belongs to the name that never really left the stage, Özge Yağız. The chapter about a headline-friendly fling is over. The conversation is, and perhaps always was, about the woman who has been a constant theme in Gökberk's story. Whether this ends in a photographed handhold, a shared holiday, or simply a respectful distance that defies our labels, there is no denying the magnetism of this moment. What happens next? That is the delicious part. We will be watching for that single photo, that throwaway line in an interview, that crack in the dam of silence. But right now, the pulse of this story is steady. It has the calm of people who know exactly what they are doing, even if we don't. Thank you for walking through this investigation with us on Anything You Want. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please leave a comment. Do you think they will go public, or keep it this way forever? Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an update. And to our Join members, thank you for making this channel possible. Until next time, remember that sometimes, the quietest stories are the ones screaming to be heard. Goodbye.